Without a word, the axe came down, splitting the air and striking my neck before I could even process what was happening. She was leaving. It was over. One hand pushed against the center of my chest, shoving me through the frame as the other hand slammed the door just inches from my face. My tears gathered in lakes before becoming waterfalls that bathed my cheeks in confusion. This was a nightmare. This isn't how love behaves. Where's the tenderness, the grace, the will to fight? Not against each other, but side by side in opposition of the odds. This driveway became a cemetery, this apartment a gravestone. Faced with separation and devastation, imminent divorce, earth-shattering remorse, the world collapsing in shards of broken mirrors, each reflecting back an image of a weeping man, gathering on the ground at my feet, 1,000 sets of my own eyes staring back at me, all screaming misery. At 23. Without a sound, the shot was fired, the fatal wound. A blow to my head that deflated my fragile ego, the victim of rumors and unfounded allegations, whispers around corners met with silent, guilty stares as I caught them in the act. A simple nod in response as I walked by, pretending not to feel betrayed. I found no sanctuary in my church, just condemnation and hearsay in place of counsel and healing, a meeting of the minds that paid no mind to the horror I had been meeting. We don't need your kind here corrupting our children, leading them to believe that marriage is a prison to escape from. So we're going to have to part ways. Best of luck to you. Jesus still loves you, but he can't use you. Love is forever, and to let it end is an abomination. Shunned by an entire congregation. Men and women of God picking up their sticks to take their turns beating me, like it was a party, like I was hanging from a string, like the abuse would somehow grant them a treat if they simply hit hard enough. Tough love. Weak hate. The beginning of a 10-year journey of bitterness and resentment, screaming at invisible faces I hadn't seen in a decade. Drive-by one-finger salutes to the hearts who broke a heart already broken. Plunged headfirst into the current of my own misguided hypocrisy at 23. Without a warning, a lunchtime phone call, her voice cracking through a nightmare of emotions. A 2-word statement that changed the course of my destiny. The evidence of mortality. A brother, a friend, a piece of my shredded soul gone forever. One poor decision of simple omission, a believing in safety when safety wasn't practiced. A curve too sharp and a car too fast, and the finality of a life fully lived, but hardly full. He was gone. Forever 24. I collapsed beneath the weight of the words and their meaning and their implications. A grief that's unexplainable in such brief communication. How could a spirit so alive with fire be so cruelly taken? How could the God who swore he'd never leave just leave us all forsaken? Denial led to anger. Anger to a bargain. Bargaining to deep depression. Acceptance is just psychological jargon. How could I accept a death I could not accept to be? How could I release someone who was torn away from me? Questioning my life and faith in the depths of agony at 23. The truth is that the only way to learn to take a hit is to take one. The only way to survive the fight is to know how to get back up when you are beaten. The only way to get beyond these moments that destroy is to learn the art of counting curses as though they are your joy. In experience, we learn patience We learn dependence. We learn perseverance. See, there are ages that define us. 16, a license, a car, and freedom. 18, the right to vote and purchase ignitable cancer. 21, being called an adult and consuming alcohol. There are ages that define us. Then there are ages that make us, that teach us, that grow us, where we learn to take a hit and get back up, where we learn the power of moving forward. When stagnation is the temptation, we push through the frustration and we find liberation. See, the enemy threw 3 strong blows against the jawline of my soul, and I felt defeated, deflated, destructed. But then the fires meant to burn me only refined me, and Jesus filled the cracks in my spirit with the purest gold. So now I am a vessel, beautiful, whole, resurrected. In hindsight, I see that while all I saw was the insanity, it was really maturity. That my Father took all that was warring to break me and used it to mold me and cure me and make me.